This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Opposition confident to post vote of no confidence. Jufa urges government to investigate on black economy. And partnership aspires to help informal sector. A very good evening. This is National Emtv News. I'm Louis Maingu. Thank you for joining us. The opposition team has assured Papua New Guineans that the motion of a vote of no confidence will continue, despite the Supreme Court reference that has stopped the progress on a vote of no confidence against the Prime Minister, James Marape. The opposition team called out the media after the parliament sitting today to address that the motion of vote of no confidence against the Prime Minister James Marape will continue despite the government team having 84 members. The opposition leader Douglas Tumoriesa stated that they are looking forward to next week when parliament sitting resumes to continue with the motion of vote of no confidence.
The government has come up with a confidence motion, and the no confidence motion that we have put before Parliament is now tested and rested. That is news, the news that must go to Papua New Guineans today, that whatever they tried yesterday does not stop the vote of no confidence motion that the opposition has brought before Parliament.
Provincial member for East Sepik, Alan Bird, also informed the media that the process followed to rule out the vote of no confidence on the floor of Parliament yesterday is not right.
A vote of no confidence, you see, when the founding fathers put it into the Constitution, they didn't put it in a subsidiary law, they put it right there in the Constitution. There's a simple reason. They look forward already to a time such as now when our people would face difficult times. So you use this mechanism, and I like to use an engineering term, as a pressure relief valve. Our people are under pressure right now. The people are feeling the pressure. Members of Parliament don't feel the pressure. They're so relaxed. You saw 84 of them all tight in Bunaste.
Provincial member Alan Bird assured the citizens of this country that the opposition is committed and they will keep the government of the day accountable. Supporting provincial member for East Sepik, provincial member for New Island, Sir Julius Chen, stated that he has never seen a constitution of this country amended so many times.
The constitution is the pillar of the country.
Yes, sir.
You should not be able to just swing it as you wish. All the other laws are subservient to the constitution. I've never seen it changed so many times. So we now don't have a beacon to guide this country. We're just guided by the number in Parliament. And yesterday's numbers just show again that we don't follow the law.
The opposition team is confident to have the vote of no confidence continue when Parliament sitting is resumed on Tuesday next week. Provincial member of East Sepik Province, Alan Bird, voiced his concern on the leadership performance of the members of Parliament. He made his statement during grievance time in today's Parliament sitting.
Provincial member Bird has spoken on the floor of Parliament on the conduct of members of Parliament.
If you are going to be spending significant funds and say that people are making people blow Papua New Guinea, don't just come and report on roads and bridges and things like that, which we all welcome, but report also on the growth in the economy, report also on the inflation numbers. Come na talk lawyer so people of Papua New Guinea can understand why no local pilimpen. They want to know. And that is where we are failing. There is no dashboard report that the government can come and present in this house that shows how the country is performing. We don't have. a dashboard report, Mr. Acting Speaker. And why shouldn't we? This is the modern world.
Bird, whilst arguing, stated that Papua New Guinea should adapt to practices from other countries to perform better.
We should adopt some of the Singaporean practices. Like number one, we should have a very strong front bench. And that front bench should be performing. That front bench should be reporting, not just on the floor for the benefit of the opposition, but for the benefit of the people of Papua New Guinea.
Grace Papiali, National Emtv News.
Provincial member for Oro, Gerrit Juffa, has raised 3 points today during the Parliament's debate session, one of which was on taxation.
The topic of taxation was elaborated on the floor of Parliament. A vocal Juffa gave his statement in regards to the dependents rebate. He called on the government to investigate into the persons and companies in operation in the country whom do not pay tax.
I'd like us to consider going after those taxpayers who are not paying their taxes. There are quite a number of them in this country, operating in fisheries industry, operating in our logging industry and various other areas, who are not paying their taxes. We are not vigorously pursuing these bad taxpayers.
Mr. Juffa, in his other point of discussion, flagged the importance of having a suitable method of election for local level government presidents that is set for in the coming months.
And so some provinces would prefer that councillors vote council presidents, and that's fine. They have their reasons which are, peculiar to them, and we appreciate and respect that. But those of us who feel that the people ought to vote their council presidents, we ought to be given that opportunity as well.
Furthermore, the issue of transnational crimes was raised.
When I was a law enforcement officer and we were combating the rise of transnational crimes, we started to see the emergence of transnational criminal cartels. Papua New Guinea was just a transit point. Today, Papua New Guinea is also a production point.
Grace Papiali, National Emtv News.
We are not a country if we do not give prominence to the security of our nation. These were the words of Member for Vanimo Green, Beldanama, today as he raised concerns on border security on the floor of Parliament. Mr. Nama raised concern on the issue of border security in the Western and West Sepik provinces and law and order issues, of which he called on leaders of the police and defense force to note.
Debate plenty time Peninsula display. But government after government have not taken serious concerns, especially on the border, on the law and order issue in the country, and some inaction and also irresponsibility by the government.
He elaborated further on the extremes of the issues with an incident that had been brought to his attention.
Lo vanimo, lo wutun border. Also, there are immigration officers, quarantine officers. Check him all citizens go come. I mean, a walk law soldier make him this law walk. One blah report they come me and one blah citizen blow me. Emila Karim gold no go trade lo Indonesia now soldier is in gold land. Large amount of gold. Worth about 400,000 kina. Now soldier Kisimna, they have not to date returned it back to the owner of the gold.
He followed with a resolution statement for the parliament to consider.
The soldiers' job on the border is to patrol the border between Western Province and West Sepik along the border between Indonesia and Papua New Guinea. Not becoming immigration officers and quarantine officers. Mr. Acting Speaker, this post soldier law Wutong must be removed. Soldiers must be mobile. They must be patrolling the borders. There's a lot of illegal trade, transnational crime. Plenty man who come inside the country illegally because our borders are not properly manned.
Minister for Intergovernment Relations, Soroy Eoe, has confirmed the dates of the local level government elections during the Parliament's question time. He also clarified the procedures of voting.
Following a question without notice from the provincial member of Western Highlands Province, Wairapa, who had requested the minister responsible, Soroy Eoe, to explain on the voting process that will be undertaken in the upcoming LLG elections in the country.
The councillors are going to elect the president, or the people are going to elect the president?
Minister Eoe responded saying that they are considering the expenses of conducting the elections, where the method is given back to the provincial governments to indicate which options are required.
Dates for LNG election is as follows. Issue of writs is Thursday, 27th of June. Nomination closes on Wednesday, 3rd of July. Polling starts Saturday, 24th of August. Polling ends Friday, 6th of September. And the return of writs on or before Thursday, 27th of September. It is. The issue was given back to provincial government to indicate to my office which option they want to look at. And having looked at all the requests that come in, then we'll look at which option is favored by provincial governments.
Grace Papiali, National Emtv News.
National Emtv News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National Emtv News. The amendment bill tabled on the floor of Parliament to amend the constitution of the independent state of Papua New Guinea, a Christian country, does not affect the rights of individuals to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion under Section 45 of the Constitution. This was explained by Secretary for Department of Justice and Attorney General Dr. Eric Kwa.
The proposal to declare PNG a Christian country was initiated in 2013 before the current government took the office, says the secretary. After 12 months of conducting public consultation by Constitutional and Law Reform Commission, over 70% population agreed that PNG must be declared as Christian country. Dr. Kwa says the idea is not to force individuals to be Christians, but to declare to other countries that PNG is a Christian country.
Now, we did bring the constitutional amendment to Parliament in the last Parliament session. So it was already on the Gazette before the elections. Unfortunately, we ran out of time. So when we ran out of time, we couldn't introduce the bill the first time. The whole idea is to not affect the right of an individual to the freedom of thought, conscience, and religion under Section 45. That section is fundamental. It's part of the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So that's already captured in our Constitution.
He confirmed that the Constitution does not state that PNG is a Christian country before this bill is tabled.
Only concern is that we wanted to establish Papua New Guinea as a nation. What is Papua New Guinea? You know, when you go to other countries, they will tell you, okay, this country is this country. Ask the Parliament to give that character to Papua New Guinea. That people, when they come to Papua New Guinea, they know that this is a Christian country. Because you will know that the missionaries came to Papua New Guinea around the 1800s. Around the 1800s, the missionaries came. So almost 200 years, we have lived with Christian values. We have walked with Christian values. And so it's nothing strange, it's nothing new that we're doing to our laws. Now, I know that the leaders have argued that the Constitution already declares that Papua New Guinea is a Christian country. It doesn't. It only says that by the guiding hand of God.
It will take another 2 months for the second vote. Esther Gane, National Emtv News.
Secretary for Department of Justice and Attorney General Dr. Eric Kwa explained that the amendment bill tabled to amend court restructure is vital with the increasing number of people running to courts every day.
The amendment bill tabled to amend court restructure was proposed to address the issues faced across the court sector. The idea is to insert another layer of court into the current national and Supreme Court structure.
So at the moment you have the lower courts stopping at district courts, and then you have the national court and the Supreme Court. These two courts have been able to deal with a lot of the issues that we bring to courts every day. And so over the last 10 years, we've realized that Papua New Guineans have become very litigious. And so almost every day, everybody's running to courts. They're running to courts. But we don't have the numbers. We don't have the structures.
The Parliament approves the increased number of judges to a minimum of 60 and a maximum of 200 judges. But to go over 60, the Chief Justice has to go back to Cabinet to justify. Dr. Kwa says the reform of the court structure is a holistic reform in relation to legal profession.
At the ground level, we've tried to fix the operations of the lawyers. At the institutional level, we've tried to fix the big group called the Department of Justice. We've tried to bring about change. We've also amended the Claims by and Against the State Act to improve claims against the state. We've also amended the Wrongs Miscellaneous Provisions Act to ensure that public servants who deliberately cause trouble to our public, they'll also be held liable. In the past, it's always the state. Now we've changed the law.
The reform is all across the sector, and the whole idea is to have access to justice.
The suggestion is that we will now have a second layer after the national court. So you will have the national courts, and then the appeals court, and then the Supreme Court. The plan is that once we insert this new court, then the Supreme Court judges will be permanent. They shouldn't be coming down and up. The judges of the appeals court can come down to the national court and go up. But beyond that, we want to have a permanent Supreme Court.
Esther Gane, National Emtv News.
The phase 1 of the Connect PNG infrastructure development program is over halfway complete as most of the important missing link roads are connected. This is according to a statement released by the Department of Works and Highways.
The phase 1 of the Connect PNG program covers over 350 kilometers of the 633 kilometers of new roads targeted in the program. This includes 7 roads breaking into new territory, reaching previously unconnected areas. These missing road links include the Erave to Simirengi section on the Gulf Southern Islands Highway, 100 kilometers Vanimo to Aitape section of the CP Coastal Highway, Trans Island Highway and Magi Highway, Finchafen to Ley Road, Wabek to Maramuni Road, Tabubil to Telefomin Road, and Gumini to Karamui Road. Minister for Works and Highways Solan Mirisim revealed this in his report to Parliament yesterday to provide an update on the progress of construction of the roads since the program initiated over 4 years ago.
Many have been questioning the value of investment made on the construction of missing links to reach the unreached and to connect the unconnected for the first time. However, sharing the tears of joy of my people in the remote Telefomin district, the rural people upon mountain tops of Kaintipa, and the people of Maramuni in the middle of Engan Sipik, to see a road for the first time connecting them to the outside world, I asked myself, what would be the monetary value of giving a better lifetime road access for many generations to come?
Minister Mirisim called out to opponents of the government, including certain members of the opposition, for labeling the program as a scam, adding that Connect PNG was reaching the unreached and connecting remote Papua New Guineans to the outside world. Edson Kuso, National Emtv News.
Minister for Works and Highways and member for Telefomin, Sola Mirisim, presented the Connect PNG report before Parliament in yesterday's Parliament sitting. This came after much speculation of corruption in the program, which outraged many members of Parliament who demanded that a report be presented in Parliament.
In delivering the report, Minister Mirisim dismissed claims of corruption under the Connect PNG program and said the Pangu-led government will be transparent.
I welcome this opportunity not only to correct the record, but address the concerns of the honourable members. This government will always be open and transparent in the delivery of service to the people of Papua New Guinea and this country.
Mirisim said road links are of paramount importance to the country's development, but due to the negligence of past governments to build new roads and maintain existing ones has resulted in many existing roads dissipate. This has prevented development and economical activities from happening around the country. He said it will cost more than 20 billion kina to connect the entire country by road. Hence, it has become one of the current government's priority areas.
It was under these circumstances that when our government first took office in 2019, we developed the 20-year Connect PNC program to immediately deal with the threats of the growing deferred maintenance backlog and at the same time meet the country's future demands by embarking on a long-term vision to connect the entire country with 100% road connectivity by 2040.
Mirisim said claims of government overspending through the Connect PNG program was misleading, as the actual funds spent in the program was within legislated budget ceilings.
Mr. Speaker, on the contrary, the Connect PNG program is implemented within the legislated annual budget appropriation ceilings set by Parliament, including our contract commitments.
Edson Kuso, National Emtv News.
NESFAN has launched its new superannuation education content in Port Moresby yesterday. NESFAN also had the opportunity to introduce its new WhatsApp appointment system.
NESFAN superannuation education content is aimed at empowering its members' valuable knowledge and resources to make sound and informed financial decisions for their future. NESFAN CEO Rajiv Sharma explains.
They will do two things. One is currently we go and give presentations to the company, and mostly when we go there, part of the presentation becomes we try to explain them what NESFAN is, what it does, what are the product and services available. If we give these videos in advance, people go through the videos, it means people are already aware about what NESFAN does. Then interaction with NESFAN and our interaction with the members will become more targeted. It will become more meaningful. Like if a particular company has some issues where they want to understand more about housing advance, or they want to understand voluntary contribution, then we can go and discuss with them, have QA sessions with them. We can show them some modeling on voluntary contribution, how it works, what benefits they get out of it. So by doing this, I feel that we will, members will benefit more. Engagement will be far more meaningful, far more targeted, because we are at an age where we all need to secure our future, and one way to secure our future is to be informed and take the right informed decision, and probably this is something which will help you taking decision. And
Mr. Sharma revealed the new contents of this education content.
Likewise, we have developed 7 such videos, and those videos are the one, they basically cover all the other aspects of superannuation. Our digital offerings, product and services, housing advance scheme, membership discount program, benefit of employer and employee voluntary contribution, EDA Super for non-citizens and informal sector.
Also, the superannuation was proud to introduce its new WhatsApp appointment system for member services. This is one of the digital offerings under the fund's e-branch services that were launched in October 2023.
So at the moment, we're doing it for selected branches in Hagen, Lake, Kokopo, in Port Moresby, and Port Moresby, our downtown branch, and Waigan. On a trial it there. but it's tied to also our queuing system. So when members walk into the branch, there's a physical machine there that gives a ticket. So the WhatsApp appointment, your WhatsApp appointment ticket will go into the same queue. So it will be called out, and then you get your service.
Now we take a look at the NestFund market report. The Kina closed lower at $0.2665 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying $0.2590, $0.3942 Australian dollars, $0.2329 euro, 38.50 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold is trading higher, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed higher, copra closed lower, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National Emtv News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National Emtv News. A two-day workshop was held by PNG Trade Union Congress, an international labor organization in the nation's capital, with discussion centering on the informal economy in the country. The workshop was organized to address the growing informal sector in the country after the January 10th mayhem involving many people who fall under the informal sector umbrella.
PNG TUC Acting General Secretary Anton Sekum and ILO Regional Specialist in Workers' Education Pong Sulan are the two main figures spearheading discussions on how to help improve PNG's informal sector, mainly focusing on towns and city peripheries. Mr. Sekum stated that the January 10th events involved many people that are not part of the city's formal sector, and this is a concern that needs to be addressed by the government and responsible bodies.
We need to address this sector, if we are to broaden the tax base of the country, if we want to get people productively involved in the economy. This is where we're going to have to reach out. We're going to reach in. We're going to give them the skills that they need.
Sekum also stated that with many participants from the formal sector involved in the workshop, and addressed to the Labour Department and the government to assist with proposed projects and activities carried out to educate and train those in the informal sector is important.
According to the Community Development Department in 2019, the informal economy is valued around 12 billion kina. At that time, the budget was, the GDP was around 7 billion. You can now, do the maths to see where we are. Now, it could be well over 40 billion. Now, if we can, over time, transmit or transform those in the informal economy into the formal economy space, we'll be able to transform these values as well to impact positively on the growth of the GDP.
ILO Regional Specialist Pong Sulan expressed satisfaction at the outcome of the workshop, however stated that PNG's informal sector is currently at 35%, representing approximately $14 billion at GDP levels currently.
Facilitating the informal economy towards the formal economy is very important because the informal economy workers are discriminated in terms of the access to the opportunity of the training and education, and also they are not even getting the minimum wage, so their income is low, living standard is very low, so that the trade union can raise their concerns to the government and society to improve their living standard. And
the workshop partnership of PNG TUC and ILO is a first, and both organizations proceeded to sign a contract for further partnerships. Francisca Anania, National Emtv News.
Following the launching of the Nurses Savings and Loan Society Limited yesterday, the company held its first board meeting this morning here in Port Moresby.
The first board meeting saw the swearing in of the 7 new interim board of directors for PNG Nurses Savings and Loan Society Limited by a magistrate this morning. Of the 7 directors, 4 are internal directors while 3 are independent directors. Awards of recognitions were also presented to executive members of the PNG Nurses Association who were instrumental in forming the Nurses Savings and Loan Society.
I want to remind all the nurses in Papua New Guinea that your Savings and Loan Society has now begun operations. This society is more or less one of the benefits that the PNG Nurses Association has enveloped to create a benefit system for financial inclusion services for our nurses in Papua New Guinea.
The CEO revealed that the recruitment program for the membership of Nurses Savings and Loan Society Limited will roll out mid this year.
Given the timeline, by April, May or June, we will run the recruitment program for membership. So I want to inform all the nurses, members of PNG Nurses Association, that your Savings and Loan Society has been born today.
Malinta Yopolo, National Emtv News.
A week after the groundbreaking ceremony, Water PNG has mobilized its team since Wednesday to commence work on the Mirigini water farming project.
In an interview with this newsroom today, Water PNG project engineer Peter Taunau said since Wednesday they have already covered 200 meters to run the piping system.
Our project will be covering about the total length of the extension. The pipeline extension will be about 800 meters, and we've covered on 200 meters, right, as we started off. Yep.
Taunau further elaborates on the progress of this project.
It's going to take us about a month for the duration of the project, and after, as soon as we are done installing the mains, we will go ahead with the meter farm concept and connecting all the water, all the houses on a meter farm, and then distributing water all across. Yeah, the Mirigini electorate. Yeah.
Mirigini community member Now Oala, who was present at the project site, expressed gratitude to see this project progressing.
So I'm happy that, the thing is off the ground already.
In addition, he said now that the project is progressing, the Mirigini community is patiently looking forward for the grand opening once it is completed. Gladys Killa, National Emtv News.
National Emtv News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Preparations are underway for Port Moresby AFL Association to kick off season competitions for this year.
Port Moresby AFL President Douglas Lai says the association will kick off the competitions early due to the major upcoming events for this year.
I'm looking at mid-March, but no exact dates, but we will confirm that tomorrow. As I said, we have important calendars for representative games, so We also have 3 international matches this year, so we really need to start as early as possible. Most of the representative players are boys and girls from the POM AFL competition.
According to what transpired in 2023 Grand Final, Lai said that the association will not tolerate such in this year's season and would like to encourage all teams to cooperate and abide to the rules and regulations.
I'm urging all the POM AFL clubs to get into training with all their teams and their boys and girls, get into training and get prepared, because we have a big year ahead of us and there's a lot of opportunities.
Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
2 teams in Lakwaharu Basketball Association will now participate in the Port Moresby Basketball Association's 2024 season.
LBA Secretary Matatia Stanley told this newsroom today that the aim is to select the best squad to represent the local competition in the Port Moresby Basketball Association. Stanley said 60 players have been selected and will further downsize to 30 players after proper screening and testing from the selection committees. Stanley said the trials commenced yesterday and the next will be on the 18th of this month. He also said that Lakwaharu competition is yet to kick off, awaiting word from the local sports council. Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
In athletics, Edna Baofob and Arihi Naime are the first Pacific Island women to compete at the World Athletics Continental Tour Gold in Melbourne, Australia. The mixed team includes Benjamin Aliel, Edna Baofob, William Pecker, and Arihi Naime took part in the 4x400 meter clocking at 3 hours, 48 and 99 seconds at the Maori Planet Meet. Team PNG will continue their training in Southeast Queensland in preparations for the upcoming competitions. That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
The weather forecast for the next 24 hours. In Southern region, Port Moresby City mostly fine, Daru partly cloudy with possible brief showers and drizzles, Kerema mostly fine, Alotau partly cloudy with some showers, and Popondetta partly cloudy with some showers. In Mamasa region, Lae City partly cloudy with possible brief showers, Medeng partly cloudy with few possible showers, Wewak partly cloudy with possible brief showers, and Vanimo partly cloudy with possible brief showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau partly cloudy with possible few showers, Kavieng partly cloudy with few showers and drizzles, Kokopo and Rabaul partly cloudy with possible brief showers, Kimbe partly cloudy with few showers, and Buka cloudy with brief showers. In the islands region, Mount Agent City cloudy with few afternoon and evening showers and possible thunderstorms, Goroka, Bans and Kundiawa cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms, Mendi, Tari and Wabek cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Friday, the 16th of February 2024. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.